Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're going to do a review on Too Faced Appley in Love palette. Now when this palette first came out, I wasn't trying to buy it. It's not that I didn't want it, I wanted it. I saw it and I was like, wow, I want that palette. You know, I collect pretty much all of the Too Faced. Every year they release like a fall one or a Christmas one, if you will, a holiday one. We're gonna call it a holiday palette. Last year, I believe it was the pumpkin pie. I think it was something like that. I don't know. I've been collecting all of them since the ginger. I had the gingerbread palette, then the gingerbread 2 palette, the pumpkin pie palette, and there's another palette. I can't remember. There was like a cinnamon roll palette or something like that. And now they have this one for this year. I freaking love the whole idea. You know, just the apple. I was like, oh, you know what? That makes sense. I'm surprised they called it Appley in Love and not like apple cider palette or something like that. Maybe next year we might get like an eggnog palette. And then when you take it out of the packaging, it comes out like this. It's a tin metal palette. I really love this tin metal ones. I think one of them, I'm not sure if that was the cinnamon roll one, probably the cinnamon roll one. That one was just regular cardboard packaging. And I was kind of missing this tin one because I love the whole, just the packaging alone always gets me. It is raised so you can feel that little apple shapes in there. In the back it just says, this juicy palette is packed with 18 super sweet shades inspired by the fresh colors of real apples, must-have neutrals, and pops of red and green and warm caramel in a variety of finishes. Lets you create and recreate every seasonal trend with a creamy blendable formula that smells like caramel apples. Now it says it smells like caramel apples. It does not smell like caramel apples to me. I did not think that at all when I first opened it and everything. When you open it up, it has a mirror covered with a little plastic, 2 faces right here. And these are the shades in here. Now, I gotta say, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. Out of all the ones that they've released so far, this is my favorite color story. And like I said, I have a lot of them. I have the gingerbread 1, 2, the cinnamon roll one, and I have the pumpkin pie palette. And I could have sworn they'd have another one. I'm gonna probably get all of my stuff out and do some comparisons with you guys, just like side by side like this real quick, just so we could see the other ones from the past. We're gonna call it Too Faced Holiday Pass. And just compare them like that. So as far as the smell goes, it does not smell like caramel apple to me. It smells like cinnamon apple. Candy apple, maybe. I definitely smell cinnamon. So if you don't like cinnamon, you're not going to like the smell. I can smell the cinnamon off of here. It doesn't smell like caramel at all. And that's one thing that I love about Too Faced. When they add a smell to their palettes, I'm all for it. Now, if you guys are wondering, like my eye look that I did today, I did make a TikTok, so I will be editing that and uploading it. Most likely, you guys will see that before you see this video. My lips are from Too Faced Melted Matte Lip, and it's in the tone Nasty Girl, okay? So it's just a red. I wanted to wear one of their holiday ones because I do have their holiday ones. I love their holiday edition Melted Matte Liquid Lipsticks. They haven't brought one out in over like 2 years. I think the last one I bought it, and they had a caramel apple one in there. I was trying to find it. I can't find it. It's probably in my purse somewhere in the back. Because that's one that I really love. So out of their holiday edition Melted Matte Liquid Lipsticks, I love their caramel apple. They have this one that's called Gingerbread Girl. I'm hoping they bring it back so I can buy a new one. That one's a really pretty deep red tone shade. And it's just perfect for holidays. This one's just, it's from their regular, tones that they released a couple years ago. And it's just called Nasty Girl. It's really bright. I look at it and it looks like a bright, holiday red. It's perfect for holiday season. So it's cute. I like it. So we're going to get started with the swatching, you guys. You guys already know if you watched me before. I'm just going to start right here in this corner. I'm going to go clear across each of the shades until we get to the end of this palette, okay? First one is called Sweet on You. Sweet on You is just this very light pink matte. Next we have Sparkling Cider. I'm loving Sparkling Cider. It just looks like this rose metallic shimmer almost. It's got these little micro diamonds in there. You can obviously see that little sparkle in there, but it's really, really cute when you see it in person. Then we have Core Values. Core Values is just this rose, deep rose tone matte. I freaking love this tone. I would totally use this as an overall lid, as a transition shade. It's just one of those colors like, dang, I could use that. Appley in Love, y'all. This shade is so underrated in this palette because first glance it just looks like a deep red shimmer. And then when you swatch it, it looks much more metallic in your face type of thing. I put it right here in this area down here and then like down here too, right here in the corner. And when I swatched it on my eye, I could not believe how pretty it looked. How much it stood out. And right next to that green that I used, oh, Jesus, you guys, it's so pretty. Next we have the Pick Me green. This is such a beautiful green. I just knew when I opened up the palette, I was like, I want that. I want to use that green. And I decided to put the green next to the red. And then when I looked at my eye look the way it came out, I was like, you know what? That is freaking pretty. It just makes sense. I love that they added that tone. And then at the end of that row, we have Applesauce. And this is just a really nice coffee brown matte. You know, another thing I noticed that I really love in this palette, they gave us this one. And this is more of like a medium brown, which is perfect for people, you know, who are lighter than me. They could totally use that as a smoking out eyeshadow. And it's a perfect, like, just deepening tone for them. Versus if I use this on my skin tone, it's just going to be like, and it's not that, you know, it's not that good of a deepening shade. But then they added the darker one on the bottom, which is, this one is called Baskets Full. And I love that they gave us those two options, like for lighter skin tones, for darker skin tones, right? That one worked perfectly as a smoking out type of situation. I'm like, oh God, thank you for adding those options for us. Because if they would have just added this one, I think I would have been so disappointed. Because I would have been like, I can't do a lot with that. That's like more of like a transition middle lid shade for me. It won't really do a lot. First up in the next row, we have Smitten. And I use Smitten as my inner corner highlight today. It's just really, really pretty. It reminds me of this like icy tone pink. Very, very light. I think it looks more silver on the viewfinder, but in real life, in person, it's just very silvery, almost really frosty pink. Very, very light pink, like a baby pink. Barely anything, like a blush, maybe more like it. Blush pink is more like it. And then next to that, you have Turnover. I didn't get to use this one, but this is a beautiful accent to maybe this one right here that we were talking about earlier. They look like they would mesh well together in a look, because this is the shimmer version. That is the matte version of that rose tone one. So snackable. This one is a pearlized pink. So it is pink, but it does have a tiny bit of maybe like an orange undertone to it. Okay, you guys, so the names are so close in the palette that it kind of gets confusing. So that last one I just showed you guys, this one, it's actually called Bite Me, okay? Not Snackable. Snackable's in the next row. And then this one, just in case I got it mixed up, this one's called Sweetie Pie. And then that's still Smitten, so I did get that one right, okay? Next you have Caramel Apple. This is just a very light peachy tone brown matte. Caramel apple. That one's pretty. I like that one. Just a very light tone. I could use it as a transition stage, so it would still be good for me as a transition. But like overall tone, no, I would not use it. It wouldn't probably barely show up on my skin tone. Now we have Apple of My Eye. I love this one. This is a shimmer. It's like a golden yellow tone shimmer. That is so pretty. Now the shimmers in here, they're not super buttery smooth, but they're not really rough and dry either. They're like on the in the middle type of range. Not too buttery smooth, but not bad at all. They feel really good still. And then we have Baskets Full. This one is a red tone matte with micro glitters in it. I believe it looks like it has yellow tone glitters. I don't know if it's I'm tripping or must be transferred from the shimmer next to it. It might be transferred from the shimmer next to it. But this one does feel dry. It feels super gritty. So I'm just letting you guys know. I love that they added that option though, just in case you wanted a matte instead of the shimmer Appley in Love one. Instead of this one, which is obviously that's a shimmer. It's a metallic shimmer. You guys have that option of this matte in here. But it is super dry. And it feels gritty. I don't know. It looks like it might be a tiny bit of patchy there, but I don't know. It might be good for the eye, and then, you know, the performance is different on the swatch, obviously. So just letting it, you know, putting it out there just in case you guys have problems with it, and it might be patchy a little bit. In the next row, we have Crunch Time. Oh my God, this is such a gorgeous gold. Almost like an orange gold or antique gold, I would like to call it. It has micro glitters in it. It's a shimmer. Super intense. I could totally see myself using that one. That one's pretty. Next we have Turnover. I use Turnover as my transition shade. And it is just this very pretty sunflower yellow matte. And did that thing show up, you guys? That thing did not come to play. It was really pigmented. I was super glad because you know how hard it is to find a yellow. Even any type of, like, any shade of yellow for someone who is, like, tan to dark skin. For that thing to show up, that's amazing. When I was putting it on, I was like, oh, it's standing out. Like, and it blended out beautifully. I had no problems with that one. Even when I started adding the other shades, you could still see that yellow in the background, which I was like, wow, come on, let it. It is doing what it's supposed to do. So this is the real So Snackable. This is so pretty. It is this berry tone grape matte. It does feel on the dry end. I don't feel any grittiness, but it does feel dry. I don't know if it's meant to feel that way, but, you know, not all the mattes that I've swatched have felt that way. But that's still a pretty shade, man. I love that. Slice, Slice, Baby. This one I used down here, right here in this area. Y'all, it is a very mint light green. It's a shimmer and it has all these little, like light green micro glitters. It's so pretty. It is also like a wildfire shimmer, so you do have to be careful. Like, you have to be careful with that one because it will spread. I did have to get like a little wipe and just wipe a little bit off so it wouldn't just keep spreading down here and make me look ridiculous. Orchard Stroll is this orange brown terracotta maybe matte. Yeah, I would say like on the terracotta side. I love that one. It's still pretty. I would still use that one. Look at that. Perfect fall tone, huh? Like a pumpkin. And then lastly, we have Baskets Full, which like I said earlier, it is just this very pretty dark espresso brown. And I'm here for it. I just love that one. I did use that one today to a little bit right here to darken out the outer layers of my eye look. It does feel on the dry end. I didn't feel a lot of like grittiness to it. But, and it does kind of look a little bit patchy, doesn't it? But I didn't really have that problem. I think it did. I did experience a little bit of the patchiness right here, but I just blended it out a little bit more. So maybe it just requires a tiny bit of patience and working a lot more. I don't know. In the end, the look came out still nice. So, and I don't see any patchiness right now. So I don't know. Just in case, right? Just in case you guys have problems, I'm letting you know. So that is all the shades in here, you guys, in this palette. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out if you guys want to decide to buy it for yourselves. I am 100% backing up this palette. It is my recommendation that if you want it, get it. Because I loved it. When I first opened it, I was like, wow. By far, I'm telling you guys, by far, like all of the palettes from Too Faced that I have that are from the holiday collection, this has been my favorite one. My favorite color story, at least. I love that they added the green, the red, the kind of like holiday, and then they still have a lot of neutrals in there. A ton of neutrals, very light tone shades, enough for my basic girlies who don't really like a whole lot of color. I mean, obviously you have the yellow right here, you have the green, the red, but then you still have all these browns, light. Come on, you still have those little blushy tones in there. It's not a huge amount of color. It's not like they slapped you with blues and greens and purples all up in there. There's still enough neutral type of tones, warm tones, for you to make it work. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like bombarding you guys with a whole bunch of colors. Because me personally, I don't have a lot of palettes that are neutral, that are like low warm tones, blushy tones. I have a ton of colorful ones, yeah. I'm done, you guys. I'm gonna let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.